ladies. So this training is just about the back office and how to utilize all the resources that are available to you. So this is what your home screen will look like after you log in with your distributor ID. As you can see, there is a link right here to your distributor dashboard. There's also the updated sentiments, which is a newsletter that's brought out weekly with any updates and information of what's going on in the company. There's some upcoming events, and if you scroll down, it talks about the different contests that you can earn for the trips that they have. So I want to talk about now, like, how you can utilize the resources to help you. So first off, if you're looking for information about product, you are going to go to the resources tab, and you can see that they have all these different categories. So for instance, the beauty book, that is a catalog that you can actually purchase when you are ordering. At the very bottom under the supplies, there are beauty books that you can purchase to have catalogs on hand to share with your customers. This is the digital version if you wanted to upload it to social media or share it via email or anything like that. You can see that there's marketing materials. So this is information about all the different products, but they also have graphic artwork that you can use to create your own social media images for marketing purposes. And then if you keep going down, there's a reference guide. One thing that I really like to focus on is the training category, because this has the events calendar, it has product knowledge, the happy hour webinars, all different things that you can use to find information about the product so you can learn about the product knowledge. So one thing is the webinars actually pulls up, sorry, let's go back to that. The webinars, it pulls up all the webinars that they've done in recent weeks, and you can kind of use whatever they talk about to get a background on those topics. So there's that. And then going back to the resources, under the training, they also have these training manuals like the Glam and Gloss that have a great product knowledge, information about Cineplex Complex, detailed information about the skincare and cosmetics, and going more into the science. So there's a lot of different things that you can utilize to really have the education that you want to have to give you confidence in selling these products and educating your customers. Okay, so next I want to take you guys over to the business tab. If you are wanting to go to your distributor dashboard to look at, your team, you can click on downline, or you can use the link that's on the main page. So this is your distributor dashboard. So right here, this is your information about you personally. Your PSV is your product sales volume, your personal sales volume for you as a distributor. And you can see that it shows where you're at for this year versus last year. And the GSV is your group sales volume. So that's how much your team has done. Over here, it will show you your distributors and their ranks for all the different people that are on your team. And then there's information about the different incentives. You have your top 5 and how much they have sold for the month. Down here, there's information on the calendar events, and this is actually where you can launch into the webinar. So if there's a webinar for today, you just click on the location and it will pull up a screen that you would enter in your distributor ID and enter you into the current webinar going on. Over here, this is your PV graph. So this is your team PV graph. The red is the current month of the year. If you have been a distributor and had a team for the previous year, you will have a blue graph next to the red, which will show you your numbers from the previous year as well. When you highlight over the bar graph, you can see what the PV total is. And you have to realize that the PV, this number right here, is different than your group sales volume, because your group sales volume is your PV multiplied by 2, because it's the actual sales number based off of what product was already ordered from your team. This is just showing the PV that they've ordered. So you can utilize this to kind of see where you're at every month and see what is being added to your group sales volume. Now, I want to talk to you guys about kind of keeping track of your month with your team. So over here on the right-hand side, let's move this over just a little bit. There is your rank summary. So this is one of the tools that I use the very most. You can see that this is going to show your group sales volume right up at the top, and then it tells you what rank you are working towards. So you can see right here that she has her requirements met for the month. She had 5 ordered the previous month and 5 ordered the current month. So her first line requirements are met for her rank. To rank to the next rank, you have to have this next line meet the same requirements, and it'll tell you. So she's had 1 person order on her second line, and she needs 4 more distributors to progress to that next rank. And then as you get to your third line, your fourth line, it'll tell you what you need to get to those ranks as well. But you have to have 5 on each line to proceed to the next rank. So that's kind of where it's showing you, but it's great because it'll show you how many people have ordered from month to month. If you click on your current month, it'll show you who has ordered and how much they have ordered. And this is a great tool to keep track of when you have girls on your team that are building, because you can see who has been ordering on their team and see how close they are to ranking and what girls are rock stars that you want to pay attention to, anything like that. And then if you click on current month, this is going to show the 0 to 299. The current month 300 PV are your qualified orders that go towards your goals, which is the rank. This is showing you who has ordered less than 100 PV for the month. And then your downline management is a tool that you can utilize to kind of show you where your distributors are at. But this isn't a tool that you necessarily need to use very often unless you're looking for some of this information, like who is getting close to going inactive or anything like that. But your activity manager is a great tool to kind of see the breakdown of your team. You can use your org chart to actually see, if you click on you at the very top, it'll pull everybody up versus having it super tiny. Let's see. And you can see like who is on your team, who has people under them, how much they have ordered, etc. So let's go back. So that's under your org chart. Your activity by distributor, this is going to show you each level, and you can click level to level. So right here is where you select, this is your first line is level 1, level 2 is your second line, third line, fourth line, and fifth line. That's going to show you everybody on those lines in one picture. And then if you kind of want to see how everyone is connected, you would use your downline activity manager. There's also a commission calculator that you can purchase. I will have Natalie make sure that she puts the link into the comments of this video if you are interested in that. But the commission calculator utilizes this information because this shows you everybody that has ordered, which you just copy and paste. I'll show you what it looks like. I actually have it bookmarked into the commission calculator. So this is a feature that you have to download and pay for. It's like a one-time payment, but you can copy and paste your information in here from the downline activity manager, and then it will tell you where your paycheck is at for your commission, including the group sales bonus. So this kind of shows you the breakdown. The yellow are the people that are on your first line. The green is your second line. Your third line is blue, and you can see where your families are kind of lining up of who is under who. So those are kind of the team breakdown tools that I use a lot. Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the different contests and incentives that they have. So on this left-hand side, obviously we just have been going through the rank summary and the activity management tool are the two main tools that I use the most. But under here are all your contests. So there's the Cenistar trip. And this is for next June. The qualification period is the seminar year. So April 1st of 2017 through March 31st of 2018. And to qualify, you have to have both of these items met. So the PSV is your personal sales volume and the GSV is your group sales volume. So you can see if you have 50,000 PSV and you have a group sales volume of 15,000 GSV, then 25% of your trip expenses would be paid for by the company. Now let's go to the very top. If your PSV, your personal sales volume, is 25,000 and your GSV is $1 million, then 100% of your trip would be paid for. I actually think that this number is supposed to be 1.25, 1,250,000. I don't think that they've updated this from last year, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, but I think that this is supposed to be 1.25 million to have it paid for. But this will, all of these requirements right here will get your trip 100% paid for. And it'll show you where your current PSV is at and your current GSV is at to meet it, so you can compare it to meet those requirements. There's the official rules and the contest parameters, going through all the details for those, but that's just kind of a brief overview of how you can read that chart. The LIPS trip is based on the leaders year. So the leaders year is from October 1st through September 30th. So we are closing out the leaders year in a few months. We're going to the last quarter. So how you read this chart is you need 50,000 on your first line and your second line to have a trip paid for you and a guest for the LIPS trip, which is Costa Rica in January. So this shows that she is at 20,000 on her first line, and she is at 2,800 on her second line. So over here on the right-hand side, this shows you what is still needed to meet that qualification. So 29,000 is needed on her first line. And then for her and a guest, it would be the 29,000 plus her second line, which is a combination of the two is 76,000 PV. It's actually, the PV is how much they're ordering, but they switch over the value to I believe it's QV, which is the qualified value, because what happens is there's quarters for qualifying the PV for all the girls that you have recruited in the seminar year. When you sign up a new distributor, you get a 300 point bonus, and then they when they order their PV, it enters into QV, but they max out at 1,500 per quarter. So you can see right here that this person has maxed out at 1,500. So she has probably ordered way more than 1,500 through April to June of 2017, but only 1,500 is going towards the trip qualification. So that just means that you have to have lots of different people that you're recruiting and ordering to meet the qualification level, because they do max out and then it restarts on the next quarter where they can add 1,500 more towards your trip qualification. The Senecar, this chart shows you everybody who is ordered and how you've qualified on your chart for your car qualification. So how the car qualification works is you have to order 750 PV every single month. So right here, this shows her personal sales ordering, her PV ordering. So April, May, and June. It's always the month that we're in and the 2 previous months that are the qualification period. So she has met all 3 of those by ordering over 750 PV to go towards her car qualification. On top of that, you have to have 22,500 of the QV, which is the PV turned into the qualifying value to go towards the car. So once again, that's because the PV maxes out, and that's why they change it to the QV. It's 2,000 PV QV per month. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just if they order 3,000 PV, it's only going to count 2,000 of the QV, of the PV turning into QV towards that month's qualification. So it's a little bit confusing, but just remember that it's actually the QV is the PV. You just max out at a certain point. So only 4,500 PV is going to count towards your QV over a 3-month period, and then it's 2,000 PV is going to qualify for the QV per month. So I know that's really confusing, but if you just check this chart, you want to make sure you're over 750 a month, and then it'll tell you over here what you still need on your first tier and your second tier to qualify. So she's super close, 3,217 QV, which is really PV, for her first line to order in the month of June for her to qualify for June. So obviously we're at the very end of the month. When the month starts over, this will probably go up because the month of April is dropping off, and then will be the month of May, June, and July, which will be qualifying her. But as everybody orders on her team, and if she recruits, then she could very well drop that to 0, which would qualify her on her first line. The second line is the same. You need 22,500 QV over a 3-month period of time, the month that we're in and the 2 previous months, to qualify that second tier. So the first tier gets you $250 towards your car. The second tier gets you an additional $250 towards your car. You have to have your first line qualified to get the second line qualified. So if your second line qualifies and your first line isn't qualified, then you are not qualified. And then if you scroll down, this will just show you the breakdown of all of your distributors that are contributing towards your car qualification and how much they are contributing. As you can see that there are the maxed out at 2,000 PV turning into QV, and then it's 4,500 over a quarter. But it doesn't look like, sorry, over the 3-month period. So if I move this order, this person is at 41,800 or 41,81. If she was over the 4,500, if she was at 5,000 PV over those 3 months, she would max out and it would only say 45. And then at the bottom is your second line as well. So that's kind of how the breakdown of the Senecar works. You want to just make sure that you're keeping track of the right-hand side, which shows you what you do need. And then keeping track that you're over 750 PV a month. And then the bottom is just showing you how much each distributor is contributing towards that value. Then the Sena cells, this is just kind of how, like, it's a kind of like a breakdown of a category that Senegence will recognize. So if you are ordering this much within a quarter, then you are considered Sena cells qualified. There's ruby, sapphire, and emerald, etc. So that's kind of all the different contests. There's also a link to the calendars on here as well. So there's a few different ways that you can see all the different events. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. You just want to utilize this tool to keep track of your distributors, see who is adding to your team. If you click on your distributor link, it will show you. If you actually click on the distributor side right here, it'll take your newest distributors to the very top. And then if you click on it, it'll show you who their sponsor is and who's adding to your team, so you can track it that way. But you just want to play around with it, get familiar with it, and as your team grows, you can see the changes that are happening, and it will be more clear as to how to track all the information back here. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Just take some time to go through it all so you can see where everything is, utilize the tools that are there for you, and help it keep you organized, help it to, educate you and to make goals. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.